Welcome back to Melody Guitar Book 1. This is a free course designed to help you learn how to read and play melodies in standard music notation. You can download this book for free from my website. I'll leave a link in the description. We're on pages 24 and 25, and we're going to talk about ties. Quick reminder to keep practicing the speed booster from page 20 and the chromatic exercise from page 22 as part of your warm-up. Now let's look at these ties on page 24. A tie is a curved line that combines two notes of the same pitch to make one longer note. When two notes are tied together, you don't repeat the second note. Instead, you continue to sustain that note through the value of the second tied note. In the first example at the top of page 24, we have a tie connecting two quarter notes. So normally you play quarter notes, 1, 2. Since they're tied, that actually becomes one longer note for two beats, 1, 2. In the second example, we've tied two C half notes together. So instead of playing 1, 2, 3, 4, it now becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. You can use ties to connect notes across bar lines, so a note from one measure can be tied to a note from another measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can tie notes one after the other as well. We got a bunch of C's in this example, but we only play two of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. As far as music notation goes, if the note stems point downward, the ties are usually going to curve upward. And if the note stems point up, the ties are usually going to curve downwards. And ties are only used to connect notes that are the same pitch. Now, pitch is your high and low. So it can only connect two C's. You can't tie one C to some other note. These examples are not ties. They connect notes that are different pitches or different notes. These are called slurs, and for a guitar player, a slur would indicate a hammer-on or a pull-off. And you'll learn about these special techniques later in Melody Guitar Book 3. At the bottom of page 24, we have exercises 43 and 44. These are one-note wonders. All you're doing here is practicing counting ties. When you play these, I'd like you to say the counting out loud as you play, and the dash between the numbered beats shows that a note is being held out. Number 43 is in 4/4 time, and we have two ties in this one. In measure 3, we're tying the quarter notes from beat 2 to beat 3. And then second measure from the end, we're tying beat 4 into the last measure. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 44 is in 3/4 time. We have a couple ties in this one as well. In measure 3, the first two beats are tied, and then in measure 4, the second two beats are tied. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. At the top of page 25, we have melodies number 45 and 46. Make sure you write the counting underneath the staff and say the counting out loud as you play so you get used to counting these tied notes. Number 45, Marianne, is in 4/4 time. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. Marianne starts off with some skips. E, G, C, E. And make sure you keep your fingers close to those frets while you're playing those open E's. We have our first tied note at the end of measure 3. We're tying the half note F into the whole note F in measure 4. When you have these long tied notes, be patient and count through every single beat. When you're practicing by yourself, it may seem tempting to skip over some of those long notes and just go right to the next one. However, you want to be in the habit of counting every single beat, because when you start playing with people, you need to be able to keep together. And sometimes you're going to be holding out a long note while somebody else plays, or vice versa. In measure 5, we have some more skips. We have some line notes this time. We have our D, F, F, B, D, and then another tied note at the end of that line. Line 2 starts just like line 1 with our skips. As a matter of fact, the only difference between line 1 and line 2 are the last 2 measures of each line. The first line ends with D, C, E, and the last 2 measures of the entire song end with D, C, C. One, two, 1, 2, ready, play. Number 46 is in 3/4 time, and it has 2 ties. These are purposefully written to be a little bit awkward, just to make you count. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, play. Number 46 is moving mostly by step. We do have a big skip at the end of the 4th measure, those 2 A's, jumping up to the E in the 5th measure. Watch out for the tie at the end of measure 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then another awkward tie in the next measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, so just be sure you're counting all the way through those tied notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, play. Your assignment is to practice exercises 43 through 46 on pages 24 and 25. Make sure you keep a steady beat by either playing along with the video or practicing to a metronome. Work on these until you can play them accurately and with good rhythm. Spend most of your time practicing exercises 45 through 46. You can drop exercises 43 through 44 as soon as you're comfortable with them. Also, be sure you start every practice session with the warm-up. Use the speed booster from page 20 and the chromatic exercise from page 22 as your warm-up. Spend about a week on this material, and when you're ready, I'll see you at the bottom of page 24 with a new rhythm, the dotted half note.